Well, I wasn't expecting that. Pokémon Legends Arceus seemingly came out of nowhere during the Pokémon presentation. From a first glance, it would appear that this new title is going to offer a more fleshed out version of the wild areas featured in Pokémon Sword and Shield. I think it is a widely accepted fact that Pokémon fans have yearned for an experience that can closer match the world shown in the anime, and for many, an open world game was the perfect fit. When I first watched the trailer, I was excited to see that Pokémon was finally taking the next steps into the possibilities of the third dimension. Being able to roam the region with proper 3D controls whilst battling and training Pokémon is a dream come true. However, the more I have analysed what little we were shown, the more concerned I have become. Make no mistake, the concept Pokémon Legends Arceus is pursuing absolutely is a great idea for Pokémon, so long as it is feature complete. In the trailer we see that the trainer character is capable of moving, sneaking and rolling. The ability to roll suggests that there are some sort of encounters or mechanics that require it, or at least I hope it does. So what could those be? Perhaps Pokémon in the wild might attack your trainer directly, and this roll is your method of evading damage? Or maybe it is used to traverse areas of the environment you otherwise could not. It is difficult to say, but the announcement referred to it as an action RPG, so assumedly traversing the world will have more going on than the normal Pokémon game. The addition of actually aiming your Pokéball freely is welcomed, especially as it doesn't seem to rely on the similar mechanic from Let's Go. Naturally, it pairs well with the ability to enter Pokemon fights by sending out your Pokemon without entering a separate battle map. From a lore perspective as well, this game has me interested. The past of Pokemon has only ever been briefly mentioned, so having a game that is based on a previously established region is a great way to show us just how different those times were. The Sinnoh region already had quite a lot of lore, so perhaps we'll get to experience details from the Canalave library in person. I have a feeling that the woman who was narrating the reveal trailer may have been Cynthia, considering mythology and history were sort of her thing. Obviously, one of the biggest sources of potential is Arceus, who must serve a large role in his own game. Since his event was never officially released, and how Pokemon games rarely explore Pokemon that are not from their generation, we haven't really gotten to learn much about the creator of Pokemon. Hopefully, this game can shed some light on any actions Arceus may have done that impacted humans and society. Whilst I wish that was all I had to say on the topic, I cannot glance over my rising concerns. The frame rate on display during this trailer was simply terrible, unavoidable even. In almost every scene with Pokemon roaming around the landscape, they would be running below 30 FPS. Looking at Sword and Shield, it was clear the developers had trouble sustaining the game's consistency within the wild area. But for a game dedicated to this sort of gameplay, it is a lot more important to get it done right. Travelling a mountain just to see Jittering Zubats is potentially one of the most horrific sights one could experience in Pokemon. Similarly, the draw distance of the wild Pokemon is worryingly not displayed. In the wild areas you couldn't see what Pokemon were off into the distance because the game could only render their model within a certain range around the player. This was not only immersion breaking, but potentially detrimental on a gameplay level, as sometimes a giant Steelix would materialise in front of you with no warning. Pokémon Legends Arceus only ever showed a few Pokémon on screen at once, of which they were always relatively nearby the trainer. The render distance must reach the industry standard for this game. Looking down a mountain is supposed to provide a great vantage point to scout out Pokémon of interest, but not if you can't even see any Pokémon. Something else that was suspiciously absent were trainer battles. The only fights were against wild Pokémon. I sincerely hope there are trainer battles in this game, as wild fights usually were about preparing for the real challenge of trainer battles. The world itself seems large and empty. That is not simply due to the lack of human presence, but also down to the geography. Environmental interactions like breaking trees, swinging off from vines, and swimming, anything like that, can help make exploring a world more interesting. But this trailer only showed moving across empty space. If the game truly does not feature a complex landscape to explore, nor having trainers to battle, then I fear the novelty of an open world Pokemon game would wear off pretty quick. For me personally, I would not be engaged for more than an hour if the only things to do in the game were catch Pokemon, battle wild Pokemon, complete the Pokédex, and perform fetch quests. Due to the setting of colonization though, it is very possible that the only human civilization is the town you start in, therefore meaning the land itself won't have trainers or man-made landmarks. Visually, the game is quite disappointing as well. This game seems to be the next mainline entry, and it is being developed by Game Freak themselves. Just because it isn't called Pokemon Blues doesn't mean it won't be a main series title. If this is the case, then I would have expected the game to have a more detailed visual design. I don't mean they had to look like the realistic Pokemon in the movie, but I was more expecting designs from either Pokken or even Pokemon Snap 2. These games look so much more vibrant and alive. The washed out and contrast colour palette of Pokemon Legends Arceus can no doubt also be an effective style, but that doesn't excuse the lack of detail in the environment and textures. All in all, I am interested to see how this game develops as more information is revealed. I am aware that what we saw is not the final product, but it is scheduled to release early next year, which doesn't give them much time to overhaul the game. It's possible we saw an early build or a purposely simplified version for demonstration, but based on Pokemon's marketing for Sword and Shield, I doubt it. Pokemon seems to be so close to entering a new age of games, and I just don't want to see them slip up at the finish line. If the game hasn't been given enough time and resources, it will be a huge waste of potential. Anyway, that was all I had to say on the topic for now. What did you think of the game? Perhaps you have confidence it will improve a lot in the coming year. Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you like this video, why not check out my previous Pokemon video where I designed a Pokemon Battle Royale game. Thank you for watching to the end, and have a great day.